and who is actually, I believe, second-year medical student at UC Davis, Sina Simmons.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zena. Just like Tyler said, I am a rising second-year medical student at UC Davis. I graduated at Drew from the MBS MPH program. It's a dual program, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. So I'm so glad. I'm very grateful that all of you guys are able to have this experience, and I will definitely give you advice throughout this Zoom call so that you can navigate your way and have just as much of a wonderful experience that you can use in your career and future education if you plan on going to medical school, pharmacy school, or anything else that you decide to pursue in the future. So congratulations.
Awesome, thank you. And last but not least, the woman of the hour, the person who we are all here for, is Dr. Farini. Would you like to say a few words, Doctor?
Yes, of course. So thank you everyone for joining us. I'm very excited to meet you all. So my name is Monica Ferrini. I'm the chair of the Department of Health and Life Sciences and the director of the Master in Biomedical Sciences and also the undergraduate program in Biomedical Sciences. I have to say that it's a great experience to meet everybody and join. I'm very pro students, so we try to work with my students a lot. Everybody knows me very well. I work a lot with the students, and I said, your success is my priority, and I want students to be successful. A little bit about me, I'm gonna tell you what's going on with me. I came to Drew 10 years ago as a researcher, so I'm a researcher by heart. And I fell in love with the school. I came as an adjunct professor initially, and then I decided to move my ground from UCLA to Drew because I fell in love with the school, the student life, the students in general. And then in 2015, I became the chair of the department. And in 2016, we launched this program. And for me, it has been a very rewarding experience to be part of this program and develop the program and see my students move forward to the bigger things. So I'm very excited to meet you all, and I hope that you enjoy and join our program. Thank you.
Awesome. With that being said, what we're going to do now is we're going to share a welcome message from our president of Charles Drew University.
Hello, my name is Dr. David Carlisle, President of Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. Welcome to Discover CDU. As University President, I have no greater responsibility than to do everything I can to ensure your success. We do that through a unique curriculum and environment that we like to call the CDU Advantage. The CDU Advantage is a particular quality of our education that prepares you to be both leading healthcare practitioners who provide culturally appropriate care with excellence and compassion, as well as advocates for social justice and health equity in underserved communities. A big part of the CDU Advantage is our embrace of diversity. That is why we have created a learning environment that is diverse in all forms. Our faculty, our staff, our approach to curriculum, and our community partnerships. It provides you with a broad range of experiences that are essential to your personal and professional growth and development. As a result, you'll graduate much better equipped to address the health needs of an increasingly diverse society and be leaders in creating positive changes in the quality of healthcare in underserved communities of our society. Tour the CDU campus and you will see and understand why Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science represents the future of healthcare and the future of the health professions. You'll enjoy small student-to-faculty ratios, which allow you to have intensive interaction with supervising faculty and hands-on clinical experience in treating patients. We are committed to ensuring that you develop the critical and relevant skills you need to succeed in today's healthcare workforce and to lead and advance care in your chosen healthcare field. So again, welcome to Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. Welcome to our family.
Perfect.
I think you're muted.
Yeah.
There we go. My bad. So just a couple of notes. If you do have any questions as we go through the presentation, there's a chat box here. So go ahead and ask us questions. Myself, if you have a question specific to students or alumni, we'll all be here and we'll be answering questions. We're going to go ahead and hold the Q&A to the end of the presentation. But without further ado, Dr. Farini, would you like to take over?
Oh, yes. So I will do a presentation about the program. Maybe some of you have heard the presentation because I recognize some of the names. So I'm going to share the screen. Okay. Okay, so can everybody see that? Okay. So one of the things that the purpose of this actually meeting is actually talk about the program, what is the purpose of the program, what are our learning objectives, what is the course unit requirement, the highlights, the flow chart to obtain the Master in Biomedical Sciences, and what are the admission requirements, of course, questions and answers. So the Master Program Biomedical Science, when we developed this program with the faculty, was to think about what things when we go through PhD programs, or what things we are missing, what's missing in our actually training. And so we actually prepare this program as a degree that can be formulated for students to prepare for health professions, so give them the tools to move forward to health profession, or in some cases to continue into PhD programs in biomedical sciences. And as I said, we developed the program thinking in the idea of what things were lacking in our training, and we try to incorporate that in this new program. In addition, there is a need for professionals in biomedical sciences. As you know, that we are living in an era that we need testing, we need developing new technologies. We're in the middle of a pandemic, there is no availability of testing. So there is an intensive growth of actually professionals that work in the biomedical science field. And it's actually considered before, when we develop the program, that going to be around 13% required in the growth in the workforce to increase the number of applicants or number of professionals in biomedical sciences. In addition, other purpose of the program is to develop or increase the broken pipeline in biomedical research for underserved population. This is another actually characteristic of the program. So this is how the idea when we developed this program was mostly to see what things were lacking in our training, what things a student need in order to go to health professions, and in addition, how to prepare them for the workforce. So these are the three things that we define as a part of the program. So what is actually the curriculum design of this program? Is a degree program, a difference to actually a certificate program, that in this case you get a degree, that you can actually join the workforce, and you have more earning power as when you have a master degree. The program is a cohort model, so you start with the group and you finish with the same group. Always, as I said, try to get along with everybody, because it's actually going to be working together for the full year. The curriculum, as I said, is designed to provide advanced scientific knowledge, research training, so you're going to be training in research a lot, and also understand global health disparities and urban health disparities and social justice. Because our mission of the school is so important, our program is also mission driven. So we want students to be part of the program and understand the mission of the school and be participating in community service, clinical service to the community. As I said, the program is only 1 year long. It's only 3 semesters. So during the academic year, we start in the fall, we continue in the spring, and the program ends in the summer. So the students start at the end of August, we finish at mid-August of the next year. During the first semester, because this is very focused on research, the student will select a mentor, and they've been conducting research under the guidance of the mentor. And the research project can vary. So we have students doing translational or basic science research, students doing clinical research, or doing community research. And it's actually based on agreement between the student and the mentor. In these years, we have actually a booklet. Students read about the mentor profile, the research interests, and then we match them based on the research interests and the mentors. So they meet together, they decide a plan of action. And this actually research component will be culminated in a research thesis that actually is in a colloquium. This year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it's gonna be actually a Zoom meeting, okay? So it's gonna be a Zoom colloquium, but usually we have a big celebration of all the students' achievements and actually defend the thesis, okay? So this is part of the curriculum design for the program. So this is actually the objectives of our program. What do we expect the students when they graduate, they can achieve? Is advanced knowledge in biomedicine, bioinformatics, translational sciences. As we said, we focus in upper division courses that will help you in medical school, and informatics that is actually a very important tool for your future careers, and also in translational research. We also want to evaluate and judge the challenges of health disparities in the community and globally. So that's the reason we do this certain travel abroad experience that students can actually choose to do. We also develop critical thinking skills, okay, that is very important for your future career as a medical student or as a pharmacy or dental school or even as a PhD student. Critical thinking is the major important foundation for all the things that you're gonna be doing in your future career. You're gonna be acquiring skills on how to develop hypotheses, how to analyze data, and how to interpret your results, and also provide communication in scientific conference, or in addition, also communicating your results in the colloquium. In addition, we want to have high standard in ethics, okay? So we want to be prepared to be a good professional, ethical professional in biomedical science and in the healthcare. So it's actually our learning objective. We want you to be apply knowledge, you're gonna be judging knowledge, you're gonna become ethical and become critical thinking person, and a long life learner. This is actually our main goal, to become a long life learner. So this is actually the classes. So during the first semester, so you're gonna be taking medical biochemistry, this is an advanced biochemistry class, human anatomy and development, biomedical informatics, translational research methods, and ethics conduct in medicine and sciences. So this is all the classes that are going to be covered in the first semester of the program. At the same time, you will start doing research and selecting your mentor. The second semester will include physiological basis of health and disease, that is a physiology, physiopathology class, medical genetics and epigenetics, scientific communication. This is a very important class because we teach you how to write your thesis, how to start with your introduction, how to start with your objectives, how to write your result, how to write your conclusion. In addition, you're gonna be taking advanced hematology and immunology, and also clinical topics in urban and global medicine. This is a class that the students get exposed to the urban and global health disparities, and they participate in study abroad in Tijuana. Unfortunately, this year was not able to do it because of the pandemic. And also we're planning to do a trip to Dominican Republic, and also was actually canceled. But these classes also involve this part of the evaluate the clinical aspect or the healthcare aspect of different countries, okay? Low income, high income, and middle income countries. I'm gonna be doing today after this presentation. So in the third semester is much shorter, and because we want students to focus on finalizing their research thesis. So in the third semester, the student has infectious disease and epidemiology, and also the graduate seminar in health disparities and social justice, that we cover all the aspects of CDU advantage. And then the last part is the research thesis, and we stress the students to complete and finalize the thesis, okay, for actually presentation at the end of the semester and during the colloquium. So the total number of units for the program is 36 units. And this is that we don't have any extra fees. It's only 36 units, the amount of the program, so the cost of the program. So what are the program highlights? So we offer a small class size up to 25 was initially. This year we start with 20 students, then 23, 27, and this year we had 28 students. But we can cap only up to 28 students because of the mentor-mentee relationship. In the program, they will take in upper division medical-oriented courses. You're gonna be developing your own research under the supervision of your mentor. We attend to scientific conference, and you're gonna be presenting your research. So students attend, we take the students to Carmel. That is a very fun meeting that actually you can interact with a lot of medical students, some PhD students, and also you can interact with mentors from all the western part of California and the West Coast, also Oregon, Texas, and also the North, Washington State. And it's a very nice 3 days conference, and we go all together, and it's a very fun experience for the students. They can tell you about that when we have the student panel. So that we include also the service learning trips to Mexico, to Tijuana, to a shelter clinic, and also to the Dominican Republic. In addition, we provide some clinical experience through the Power Clinic. That is a clinic that run by one of the professors that has an obesity clinic, and also by the COPE solution that is actually like a clinical care extender program. We have another community engagement I'm gonna talk about later on. We offer also for students interested in MCAT, we provide the MCAT preparation together with the post-bac program, and it's a discounted price. And we offer committee letter after graduation. So the students, when they graduate, they can obtain a committee letter from the professors when we do an overall evaluation of the candidate. So this is actually the program flow chart. When you matriculate to our program, in the fall semester, you start with your first semester coursework. And in that moment, you start selecting your thesis advisor. And then in between the fall and the spring semester, you're gonna be taking all the coursework material from the research. And then during the summer semester, you're gonna be writing your thesis, finalize the coursework. And in this case, the thesis might be approved by the committee. And then we have the colloquium and you get a master in biomedical sciences. So the flow chart allows you to explain how we are doing. We have actually 3 levels. We have the coursework, the research, and also your community engagement activities. So what is actually the admission required for this program? So we require a bachelor degree, an overall GPA of 3.0 or above. We look very holistic, each candidate. And because of this year of the pandemic, we are waiving these actually admissions exams. So we are waiving the MCAT, the GRE, the DAT, the PCAT, or the OET. All of them are waived because of the pandemic. I know the students cannot actually have access to the exams. So this is waived. But one thing that we look the most is all your prerequisite course, prior matriculation. This is actually having general chemistry, biology, organic chemistry, calculus. This is a required. Very important, your person essay in describing your motivation for applying to this program. We take a look at that very, very thoroughly. We are really interested to see what you want to come here and what your interest. So 3 recommendation letters and also your resume or curriculum vitae. Okay, this is actually the thing that we look into the candidate. This is the main thing. Not so much your MCAT score this year, we don't look at that, but we look at your course matriculation, your personal asset, your recommendation letter. These are the main things that we do the evaluation of the candidate. So the application, as we said, is through the PBCAS, post-bac CAS. It was open January 1st, we'll close June 30th. We want you to be already verified because it's very important for us because we have all the evaluation done initially by PBCAS. So if you had to be verified by June 30th, okay, don't wait until the last minute to have everything verified. So another thing that we offer in the program. So we offer some school linkage. So with pharmacy schools, 2 Caribbean schools, and finalizing agreement with another 2 Caribbean schools. Also, we have an agreement with the Western University in podiatry and optometry schools. And also we have an agreement with a PhD in pharmaceutical technology. All the students that they come from our program, they have guaranteed admissions. In the case of Ross, they offer to our students a semester off and free housing. And also with Antigua, they offer $60,000 in scholarship for actually completing our program. So another thing that already Sina mentioned is that we offer the sequential degree, MBS, MPH. These actually students that have completed our MBS program, they can take 3 more semesters and obtain an MPH degree, which also helps you to stand out your application. But you have to finalize our MBS first, complete the MBS, finalizing the colloquium, and then you can start in the MPH program, okay? And it's a total of 24 units to complete this program. Some students, they use that as an advantage when they are applying to medical school during the gap year, they take time to take this actually second degree. So in 2 years, you can obtain 2 degrees. So what about conference? So this is actually part of the students. I want to show you some of the students. This is in the conference in Carmel. This was our second cohort of students. So the students can present. As you can see, we have one of the students, he's already in medical school presenting. These 2 are also fooling around a little bit, but they're having fun. It's a very nice conference. These students also presenting this year, okay, in the Carmel conference. This is actually another students in another type of conference known as a research center in minority institutions, where our students participate as an oral presenter or poster presentation. And we support the students to go to those scientific conferences. So this is actually this is the last cohort, the current cohort that we had, and we went this year to Carmel before the pandemic. Also regarding mission trip, this is part of our global experience. So this is our students working in the Tijuana shelter. They're actually taking vitals and helping the doctors and pharmaceutical pharmacies to provide medications to the people that attend in the shelter. You can see some pictures of our students. This is our global medicine workshop. In this case, students present comparisons among different countries, high income countries, middle income countries, and lower income countries. And they dress up in the typical outfits. This is actually a very fun event. Today they're gonna have the same event, but it's gonna be through Zoom. So each one is representing different countries. Here's my country, Argentina, was represented that year, okay. So also community service, we encourage the students to participate in community service. So we request the students to fulfill 25 hours of community service throughout the year. And in this case, this is our second cohort. They were working with elementary and kid students in an elementary school in Los Angeles, and they were teaching sciences. This year, our cohort is working in a mentor-mentee program, and we got funding to continue that program, that we work with high school students, teach them the SAT preparation courses, and also prepare them for going into college and become a mentor for those students. So this is some of the activities that we do throughout the year. One is Project Santa Claus, that is actually during Christmas time, that we do together with the College of Medicine. This is actually another type of club. This is the Step Up Club, the SEAL, the Reach Back clubs. All of them are working with the community and do community service. And this is also part of our program. We encourage the students to participate in community service. This is actually part of the colloquium. I want to show you how the colloquium works. So we have a panel of judges, and the students present the research that they have been doing through the whole year. So here we have from the first cohort. This is our last cohort. Okay, they present through the thesis. This is oath and honor. This is actually the celebration of the students when they finalize graduation. So we have a big celebration that the students can participate when they get the hood. This is the hooding ceremony, and also they get awards. Okay, this is part of actually our program too. This is our last cohort, so I want to introduce all the class for this year. So we do what we call the lab coat ceremony, when students get the lab coat, and we take a big pictures all together, and then after that, the students will start doing the research with their mentors. This is the last time when they had to select the mentor. This is around September 26, around that, the end of September. So one of the questions that we have is, what can I do with a master in biomedical science? So one of the things is to strengthen your application for health professions. You can become a program coordinator. You can become a research laboratory manager. You can work as a research associate. You can work as a clinical laboratory manager, pharmaceutical laboratory. You can work in health information technology, or you can become a post-secondary science educator. Okay, it's not only for you to go to medical school, pharmacy school. You can get a job after this program. And some students, they were not able to, or they're taking a year gap. They are working in the field, and they are actually excel and thrive in this profession. So this is another thing, where the students go after completing the program. As I said, most students go to medical school, pharmacy school, dental school, PA program, MPH. They are program coordinators, as we said, all these kind of things. Some of them now are college instructors, so you have more possibilities to actually to do anything else if you don't get into medical school or pharmacy school or dental school, okay? You can actually get a job and have more earning power. This is actually are the students where they got accepted from our program. As we say, we have majority go to medical school, but we have students go to dental school, in podiatry school, pharmacy, MPH programs, and also PA programs. So we have a variety of health professions, okay? So students actually get accepted and go to different schools. And you can see it's almost, they have several schools that we have listed that actually are actually students that got accepted in those schools. So regarding the tuition, so I don't know if this is accurate, but I think the total cost of the program is $33,000, and we have scholarships available. So through the Dean Scholarship, so we can actually help out a little bit with some scholarship for the students. We do by merit or also by need. And this is actually the end of the presentation. This is the contact information. As Daniela introduced herself, she's the program coordinator. You can actually direct questions to her. So I will ask you to take a picture of this. And also this is me, Monica Ferrini. You can actually reach me by email. And we have actually a Facebook page that the students actually put their pictures. We have also an Instagram, and also we have a Twitter account that is at HLS@CDU. And with that, I complete my presentation. Thank you for taking your time to listen to me. And if you have any questions, I'm available at the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Farini. That was really great. A lot of really good information. And just to reiterate, everyone, they are waiving the testing requirement. So that's really important. When was that decision made, doctor? And what was the conversation around that?
We decided when this started and we started noticing that there was no more actually testing available. So I said, I don't want to punish the student. They don't have the test where that's going to be actually, they cannot be part of the program. So that's the reason we decided to waive it. I think it was when this in March that we decided to move that forward. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was a question that a student had earlier about that. So moving on forward, before I bring in the student panel, Nina, do you have any general tips for the students who are going to be applying, say, for this upcoming cohort? Nina, mute. There you go.
Okay. Yes, I definitely want to say for all students that's online right now, the Masters of Science in Biomedical Science program, they are currently accepting applications, reviewing applications, and admitting students currently into the program. So if you have a strong desire and you see yourself moving forward within this program and really just maximizing all of your academic, career, and professional achievements in medical research and beyond, I would strongly suggest you don't have to wait. You can go ahead and to submit your application now through the post-bac CAS application site. I went ahead and I put the link into the chat box. I'll just, as we continue within this online forum, I'll ensure to just continue. Maybe there's some students entering and exiting that didn't get a chance to see the website link, but I'll just ensure to keep reposting it within the chat box. So don't hesitate. You're going to submit all of your documents onto the actual application. So you're just going to follow all of the instructions on the post-bac CAS application site. Just follow all the directions. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me so that I can continue to assist you and support you through your application process.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Doctor, would you like to introduce your former students?
Okay. Yes, definitely. So it's my pleasure to introduce two of my students. One is an alumni, this is Sina Simmons. She was with us during the master program in biomedical science. She completed the program. She was working in research. Then she continued, she did the MPH, the sequential degree. And she now is the rising second year in medical school at UC Davis. And I'm very proud of her, of all her achievements. She's been an outstanding student. The second one is Jason Martinez. Martinez is a current student at the master program in biomedical science, so he can give the perspective about how actually is the program. And he actually now has been accepted into Temple University Medical School, so I'm very proud of him too. He has been an outstanding student in my class, always with a big smile, always positive attitude. So I really enjoy to have both of them here, that they are actually talking about the program and how the program developed themselves, okay? So thank you so much for being here and taking your time, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Farini.
Zena, we'll go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Farini.
Yeah.
Zena, we'll go ahead and get started with you. Do you want to speak a little bit about your time at CDU? Were you an out-of-state student? There was a question about housing. Can you talk a little bit about that, your journey into Davis?
Okay, yeah, for sure. So I'm originally from New Jersey, and I came to California for college. I went to Pepperdine University. I found out about Drew through my pre-med advisor at Pepperdine, who kept encouraging me to get involved with the Saturday Science program. Can everyone hear me properly?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so she kept encouraging me to get involved with Saturday Science because she thought I would be a good role model for a lot of the children in the community in South LA. So I started volunteering. So once a week I would commute. My best friend and I would commute from Pepperdine to Drew to tutor some of the kids. And then I started tutoring children in the South LA community privately, because their parents would, they wanted me, they wanted like extra tutoring services, and that started getting more involved with the community events at Drew. I felt very at home there. It was a very wonderful change. I had a great experience at Pepperdine, but being in the Drew community was an added advantage, I felt like, because I felt like I was missing that social awareness experience being at a college in Malibu versus, being in the city of, in the inner city, or like the heart of Los Angeles, that where, there are a lot of social determinants of health. You're getting very direct exposure to the social determinants of health, which is something, it's a rising topic in the United States, and it's something that not all schools, really instill or teach their students. And I feel like I got that perspective from Drew to like the max. And it's something that I've been able to carry with me throughout my medical school journey, within my career, because I did work during my gap year, and it wasn't just like, a small job. It was like a legitimate career type opportunity that I was able to, carry out different projects. So once once I graduated from college, I started the postbac at Drew to gain some of my prerequisites that I would need for medical school. And my goal was actually, I've always wanted to do a master's program. I had wanted to go into a master's of science because I knew that I wanted to gain research experience, which I did no research in college. My research experience started solely when I became a student at Drew. And during that time, that's when they finalized the Master's of Science and Biomedical Sciences program. And it was a great opportunity. Not only do you get a very strong foundation in the sciences that, you'll need for medical school or pharmacy school or whatever else, but you do get a very strong research foundation. Like we learn a lot in class. So my scientific research was in cardiovascular disease. I studied the cardiovascular effects of e-cigarettes, and it was all lab research. But within the class, we gained knowledge about community research and clinical research. So it's a very broad experience that you're going to be able to get. And like, even once in the future, if you decide to do laboratory research, you're not going to be limited because you have had a background in the other facets of research. So currently right now, I'm a medical student, and I am doing research that's along the lines of clinical research, but it has a policy focus. And because of the fact that, like, I did the MPH, and in the Master's of Science program, you are getting, they do put like a social aspect portion into it. So a lot of the research that you're going to do is going to be surrounded by maybe, conditions that disproportionately affect under-resourced communities. So you're always gaining like a social determinants of health type perspective that you can use and incorporate in other studies that you do. So in that case, I don't think there are a lot of programs in the country that offers, like I said, that CDU advantage. The different perspectives that I think is growing in the United States. There's a lot of health disparities that exist. And there are very, very few places that can educate you on these issues the way that Drew has, because you're not only learning it in class, but you're also, you're in the community. There's so many community events to get involved in, and a lot of the students there, they're like my best friends. We still keep in touch. We're all very passionate about serving the underserved and getting involved in different things like the Mexico global trip. Even though it's a short trip,
a lot of people stay in touch and they go back. Like there's one of my classmates, well, she was in the cohort behind me, and she's a medical school in Riverside, goes every 2 weeks while she's a medical student. So you're gaining those experiences. While I was a student in this program, I got sponsored to go to the Dominican Republic and serve there through the medical mission trip. And while I was working during my gap year, I helped formulate a class for the School of Nursing where we would send a group of nurse practitioner students to do a medical mission trip abroad in the bates and villages in the Dominican Republic. And then we also incorporated public health.
Oh, I think we lost her.
Yeah, we lost her. Yeah.
Oh no, this is getting so good.
Yeah.
All right, let's just go ahead and wait. Let's see. One.
Do you have any questions at this point? I saw that there are some questions about the sequential degree with MPH.
Yeah.
I had to say that you had to apply for the MBS program only. And when you finish the MBS program, you can actually start or apply for the MPH program. So it's not that you can apply to both programs at the same time. So you have to finish first our MBS program, apply only to the MBS program, and then you continue in the MPH if you want to do that. Okay, so I want to clarify because there were some questions I saw on the chat. So it's not that you have to apply for both programs. It's only MBS program. And if you are interested in continue and do an MPH for 1 year, you can actually apply after that. Okay, so it's actually a sequential degree, not a dual degree. So I think we lost Sina, so.
So yeah, let's go ahead and bring in Jason into the conversation. Just to reiterate what Dr. Farini said was, you know, Jason always has a big smile on campus. You know, we bring high school students all the time, and he's always walking around, you know, and it's a great example to our young people that, you know, see other people that look like them that are in the health professions. So Jason, thank you. I know you took time out of your day. Can you tell us about your experience at CTU and anything you want to share, really?
Yeah, most definitely. First off, thanks for having me. It's really a great opportunity to kind of just talk to future applicants and really get them involved and make sure that they know what they're kind of getting into. When I actually, so during my gap year, I was working as an EMT alongside like another job, and I felt pretty stagnant in my life. So when I was doing a lot of research, I found CDU, and what I really love most about it is that their commitment to their community. That's kind of like the heart of it. And yeah, they have amazing academics, they have amazing research opportunities, but really it's just the community that they have in the program as well as like within the whole entire area. And you can tell by the amount of activities that they do, the amount of community engagement projects that they have. It's constantly giving back to their community, and that is a huge mission and purpose that they serve, which really like totally just made me want to go there. And that was something that I really thought was a key factor to my application and why I chose Charles Drew. But to talk a little bit about the program itself, it's incredible. And what I'll say is that you can make the most out of it depending on what you choose to do. There was a lot of people who took different routes. There's people who are working full time and they're also going to school. It's difficult, it's possible. And there's also people who decided to solely focus on their education. And through that, they found so many opportunities within the program. And so, for instance, for me, I actually left both my jobs so I could just go straight full time into my education. But through the education, I found so many opportunities. With my mentor, I was working in research, and then I also got another job in research at the same time. So I had 2 different research projects. Then alongside that, my mentor actually also offered me the opportunity to take part in, basically he runs a diabetic clinic, as well as like he's a huge person in endocrinology. And so he pushed me to work with diabetes, go to the diabetic clinic, work in his clinical research. And so like I really just took on everything that I possibly could. And it showed me that at Drew, it's really like there's so many opportunities within the university that you can make whatever you want to do with it. And yeah, it pretty intense because the coursework, it gets challenging at times. But one thing that I've noticed, the coursework is really related to not only medical school, but life. When we talked about translational research, it's basically taking what we learn in basic science and how we apply it to the people that we serve and to the people that we want to help. And that was something that I actually wasn't too aware of when I came into the program, that there was a specific field focusing on that aspect. And the amazing thing that Drew does is that they really put an emphasis on it, because I think it's incredibly important, so does Drew, to take what we know in the science and be able to share that within our community, but also to help them. So that was a huge benefit during my first semester, where we learned it in the fall. And then throughout the whole entire program, it's just, you're constantly greeted with amazing professors who really care about your education and who you are and what you're doing in life. And they push you and that they support you. And it was nothing like my undergrad. It was completely different. And it just felt like a home and a family. And that's what I love about the program. And another thing is, I know a lot of you are probably applying to some type of grad school, whether that's MD, DO, dental school, optometry, whatever it is, it comes up in interviews. A lot of my interviews that I had, they kept asking me, oh, I see you're in this program, what are you doing? And then all of a sudden I'd get into a conversation with them for 20 minutes, just scratching the surface in what I've been doing at Charles Drew, because there's so much that you can do and so much that I did. And so going to this program, yes, you're getting a master's degree that looks amazing on any application or to boost your resume. But also when you're talking to interviewers, you're standing out because you have so much experience, so much exposure. And another factor is that you can talk about your community engagement, because it's a huge factor. I mean, you're getting into medicine to help people. And when you talk about that during interviews, they really see your passion and they see that you care about the communities that you want to serve. And I think, yes, medical schools are looking for a bright applicant and someone who seeks out the questions, but they also want to know if that doctor is going to be willing to help those that are in need of help and are actually caring about who they're serving. And to sum it up, I just think Drew was the perfect place for me to grow as a person and an applicant, and to be the best version of myself. And so if you're between programs, I'm highly suggesting Drew. I loved it here. It was an incredible experience, and it really helped me mature and develop as a person.
Thank you.
Awesome, Jason. Thanks. Sina, we have you back on the call. Any closing words?
Yeah, like I really agree with a lot of what he said. Not only are you going to gain a really great educational experience and a very strong scientific foundation, but you do grow a lot as a person at Drew. Not only just become, graduate school allows you to think and reflect a lot, become an independent thinker, but you're surrounded by so many wonderful people that share a very similar mission as you do, so it becomes polarized. You go in, a lot of people come into Drew caring about the underserved and caring about serving those that need it the most, and then you leave just completely obsessed with it. So in a good way, and there's a lot of mentorship there. Dr. Farini is like my second mom, and she's always there for you no matter what it is that you need. When it comes to transitioning into medical school or going into your career, there's a lot of resources and mentors that can guide you, and even once you move on, it's a family, and it's a family that always stays connected. So it's a great place to network and to grow, because even once we all are established into our careers, Drew is a place that is very project-based, so you're always going to be wanting to work on other research projects, getting involved with community engagement in different communities. I still call my mentors back at Drew for advice on some of the research that I'm doing here. So it's just, a really great place where you can grow, and it's really wonderful for career building as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what amazing people follow in the footsteps of my former colleagues. And I hope that everyone can have, I know that a lot of people will have a similar and wonderful experience and can add value and help the university grow even more, because everybody that comes here adds something, and a lot of people incorporate their own expertise and their own backgrounds to building new programs and new community events and just new research studies that really does help the university grow and helps the surrounding community.
Great, Zina. Thank you very much for that. So we are coming close to the end, folks. Again, just a quick reminder, our applications are currently open. You can apply to this program. Nina Bolton is here joining us, and she will be the main point of contact for you if you do have any other further questions. So now as we transition to the next part, Dr. Farini, there was a question about, due to the pandemic, will classes in the fall be online? Are there any plans on that yet?
Well, we are hoping to go back on campus in the fall. So the president, we have a town hall on Tuesday, and we are actually 50-50. It all depends what happened with the pandemic, but initially the idea is to move back to in fall on campus. Yeah. So I want to work with the students. I don't want to do these Zoom classes or things like this. So we are looking forward to move back on campus. Yeah.
Oh, great. And I'm hoping for that as well. Dr. Farini, can you speak a little bit about what kind of students the committee is looking for to fill in the next class?
What I'm looking, as I said, we're looking at the students based on they has a GPA that is above 3.0. We look a lot based on the personal statement. This is actually very important. So this actually, when the process is, we review the application by 2 people. So those 2 people, they make a recommendation, okay, they can move to interview. And then we move to an interview, it's a phone interview. I see some names, so they had interview with me or with another faculty. And in that, we look mostly about the person, whether they're interested, if they have scientific curiosity, they are actually willing to serve underserved population. We look very holistic in the class. We want students that they can fit in. It's not a program that we establish competition. We want everybody to work together. So I'm looking at that in the candidate. A student that they can listen when we tell don't do this or do this. And also we are looking for students that they are willing to serve underserved population and they have aspiration to move to the next step. So this is the characteristics that we're looking in the classroom.
Awesome, everyone. I hope you're taking notes there. All of the talking points that you should be alluding to are being mentioned. Dr. Farini, there's a question about scholarships, dean scholarships. Are there any other scholarships as well, and assistantships, if possible?
I know that they have some programs called HCOP that is for students that they are actually, it's by need, not by merit. So they can apply to the HCOP and they get a substantial scholarships. Also, there is some scholarships through the UGI program that they can do research. And also we have the work study program that several students take advantage of the work study program. And also we had this actually dean scholarship that we don't know yet still how it's gonna be this year the amount, but we distribute among our students when actually has been accepted and have been actually deposited. So they're already committed to the school. So those are the students that we actually provide the scholarships. Other scholarships, I know that CDU sending every month the scholarship that you can apply as a graduate student. So this is another opportunity to look for outside scholarship to help to fund your education.
Yeah, and all of this information, just for everyone on the call, is available on our website. HCOP, I went ahead and dropped it in the chat box for you all.
Yeah.
There is a question, and there's 2 questions. I'm going to combine them into one. Dr. Farini, can you talk a little bit about the CDU medical program, the difference between that and Masters of Science Biomedical? And do students get an advantage into that program, an interview?
Well, okay, so I can go over. So the CDU UCLA medical program is a medical school program. So they goes to medical school. So there is no established linkage with the school. So because the students that they apply to that program have to be accepted at Drew, and also they had to be accepted at UCLA. So there is not a formal linkage with the school. Our students got interviewed. So Jason got interviewed that year. So this year, so usually if you have an MCAT above 500 and you do very well in the program, you get an interview. I cannot say it's guaranteed, but you get an interview. I'm part of the admissions committee, so always I push for my students, but I cannot say that, so this is not recorded. But there is no any true linkage, okay? So, and I help the students to try to apply, but there is no true linkage, but the program is actually has to be, for the students be accepted in both programs. So at Drew and also at UCLA. It's very competitive because only 24 students get accepted and they have more than 3,000 applicants. So which is actually is very, very, very competitive. So that's the reason. So this is what I can say about the program. And the students, they do 2 years at UCLA. So the first 2 years of the basic part is at UCLA. And then the other 2 years is going to be at Drew. And the good news that we are actually developing a medical school, 4-year medical school. And in the future, maybe this program can become a feeder for actually the medical students.
Oh, that's great. So we are currently working, everyone, just so you know, for the future on our own medical school, standalone medical program here on campus. We're really excited for that. And again, you know, this is what we've been doing since 1966, educating people like us in medicine and science and helping build a world without health disparities. Dr. Farini, there are some folks here on the call who are considering going into a post-bac program. Why should they consider the biomed program instead?
Oh, okay. So let me explain the difference in between one versus the other. So if you, for example, have a low GPA and you need to increase your GPA, that would be good to do a post-bac program, because when you are evaluated by the admissions committee, they look at your undergraduate GPA, your master GPA, so they actually go separate. For people that don't have the prereqs, the post-bac program is an advantage too, because you don't have the prereqs for going into medical school. If you want to strengthen your application, you want to have a degree, because the difference is with the post-bac, if you don't get into medical school, you get a certificate, and that is not helpful. It's not actually, you cannot move forward with that. In this case, you get a degree, and you can also, if medical school doesn't work for you, you can actually work and get a job, or maybe you can go to another health profession, because we prepare for that. So this is the major difference. It depends on your application. So usually when I meet with students, I tell them, oh yes, you are ready. Other cases can be that maybe you don't have a very good GPA, you are in the top 2.9, but you have taken so many science courses that taking a post-bac is not gonna be, they're gonna be not helping to increase your GPA. This is another reason that you should do a master, because you want to demonstrate to the admissions committee that you already have, you are able to handle very upper division courses, very high level upper division courses. So these are the different characteristics for each of the people that are going to different programs. Why it's better to do a post-bac versus doing a master. But basically, if you have taken so many, more than 80 credits in science, that's not gonna be helping you if you go to a post-bac program, because for each A that you get, it's only 0.02 that is gonna be increasing your GPA. So you have to maybe look forward to do a master instead of doing a post-bac. But it depends on your stats and your your status in your application. So that is actually, you don't have enough courses, science courses taken, so you should do a post-bac to increase your GPA. You don't have the prereqs, or in that case, if you have taken a lot of science classes, it's better to move to a master level.
Okay, and we are coming closer to the end. Everyone, if you had a question and we didn't get a chance to answer your question, feel free to shoot me an email. I will find the answer for you. Yeah, go ahead.
One question that I really like, when one person is asking about the SEAL Journal Club. This is actually something that was run by the students. It's kind of like a journal club that the students attend, and they present their science, or they present a paper, and they discuss that among them. So it's run by the student. It's a very great experience. We provide pizza, so it's during lunchtime, so students can actually have lunch while actually discussing science. So this is a very, very nice club to be part of. I know that there are other class, so Jason is part of another class, the Step Up. Can you talk a little bit about that, Jason? And I'm so direct here also in the call. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a club on campus. It's called Step Up to Rep, and it's a newer club that's starting up right now, and it's ending the first year. So right now we're doing a lot of fundraising to get the money for it, but it's an incredible program. The president, Tyreek, he really set it up for us, and it's to engage within our community and to develop mentorship, mentor-mentee programs or relationships within the local community. So the main school that we were looking to is Martin Luther King Jr., which is like right next door to Charles Drew. It's literally, you could walk not even a minute and you're right there on the campus. And so it was an incredible program, and it's still in its phase of starting up. But I think it's really going to take off next year. And if you really want to be a part of the community and you want to jump into it, it's definitely an incredible program that you can be a part of, and an active club that you can be a part of. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave my email in the group chat. So if you do have any questions, or if I missed any questions, you can just shoot it to me, and I'll try to respond as quickly as possible. I hope that kind of cleared it up, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so again, everyone, thank you for joining our call today. Dr. Farini, do you have any departing words?
Well, I'm so glad that you guys join us, and I hope to see your application pretty soon. As we said, we closed June 30th. We already have so many committed applicants at this point, so I encourage you to apply as soon as possible. Don't wait until the last minute, okay? Because we already have halfway through with all applicants committed. So I would say try to apply as soon as possible. So I'm looking forward to see your application soon and see you on campus, okay? So it's very nice time to spend very nice time together, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Well, again, everyone, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Y'all take care of yourselves, and hope your application.
Good luck, everyone.
All right. Yeah. Good luck, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
See you in a few minutes, Jason.